How you doing, everybody? My name is Dr. Sami Baya. Please welcome back to my YouTube channel. DENZO MOS discusses narcissists and witchcraft. That's the title of this video. DENZO MOS is a noted writer and philosopher. He dives deep into the intersection of narcissism and witchcraft in his compelling discourse. Now, his approach is a blend of psychological analysis, cultural reflection, and esoteric exploration, providing a multifaceted view of how these two phenomena, seemingly distant, are intricately linked in the contemporary world, that is, narcissism and witchcraft. Narcissism, according to Moss, is not merely an ego trip or an inflated sense of self. It is a defense mechanism born from deep psychological wounds, a reaction to early life traumas or neglect. The narcissist builds a fragile self-image which needs constant validation from others to survive. This inflated sense of self often causes significant harm, both to the narcissist and to those around them. Their relationships become transactional, marked by manipulation, control, and a lack of genuine empathy. Witchcraft, in its many forms, is often associated with ancient rituals, spells, and a deep connection to the unseen forces of nature. DENZO MOS points out that witchcraft, far from being a mere superstition, is an ancient practice rooted in self-empowerment and a quest for spiritual knowledge. Whether through ceremonial magic, herbalism, or shamanic practices, witches have historically sought to align themselves with the forces of the universe to bring about desired outcomes. DENZO MOS observes that narcissists are obsessed with power, control, and dominance over others. This mirrors, in a sense, the allure of witchcraft. In many witchcraft traditions, practitioners seek to exert influence over the world around them, to shape reality through ritual and intention. However, the key difference lies in the intentions behind this power. While a narcissist manipulates others for personal gain and validation, witches may wield power for personal growth, healing, or transformation. However, DENZO MOS warns that just as narcissists can become consumed by their need for control, witchcraft too can have a dark side. Black magic, curse, and manipulative spells can be used by individuals who seek power over others. This corrupt form of witchcraft, akin to narcissism, exploits the vulnerabilities of others, preying upon their weaknesses for personal gain. It becomes less about spiritual enlightenment and more about domination. DENZO MOS argues that modern narcissism is a form of self-worship, a cult of the ego that demands constant admiration and validation. Social media, for example, serves as a perfect breeding ground for this type of narcissistic behavior, where individuals construct idealized versions of themselves to garner likes and attention. It is a kind of digital witchcraft, casting spells of illusion to manipulate how others perceive them, all in the name of self-aggrandizement. On the other side, DENZO MOS believes that witchcraft, when practiced for spiritual and personal growth, is about self-transformation. It is an art of healing, empowerment, and self-discovery. Through rituals, spells, and an understanding of the natural world, witches can transcend their limitations and manifest their desires in alignment with the universe. This form of witchcraft is less about control and more about harmony, growth, and connection with a higher consciousness. There is a shadow side to witchcraft, just as there is a shadow side to narcissism. DENZO MOS draws a parallel between the manipulative tactics of the narcissist and the darker aspects of witchcraft, where the practitioner may attempt to control or dominate others for selfish reasons. This twisted form of magic mirrors the toxic traits of narcissism, the need to manipulate, exploit, and possess. The narcissist as a witch. In an intriguing analysis, DENZO MOS explores how narcissists may, in a sense, be modern-day witches. The obsession with control, the ability to manipulate and charm others, and their need to create their own reality align with many of the tactics used by witches throughout history. The narcissist, like the witch, may weave spells of illusion to bend others to their will, often at the cost of the well-being of those they manipulate. Where narcissism seeks to wound and control, witchcraft in its purest form seeks to heal and restore balance. DENZO MOS emphasizes that witchcraft, when used with good intent, is a path of personal and communal healing. From herbal medicine to divination, witches have always sought to help others by connecting with the spiritual realms to bring about positive change in their lives. DENZO MOS argues that at the core of narcissism lies an intense fear of vulnerability. A narcissist cannot show weakness or any signs of imperfection, as it threatens their carefully constructed self-image. This is where witchcraft can play a paradoxical role. It can be used to mask the narcissist's insecurities, providing them with the illusion of control and power, but never addressing the underlying emotional wounds. The narcissist's need for eternal admiration is closely linked to a desire for immortality. This deep-rooted insecurity drives them to seek external validation constantly, to leave a legacy of infamy or admiration. DENZO MOS notes that some forms of witchcraft, particularly the quest for immortality through alchemy or dark magic, echo this need for permanence, as practitioners try to escape the limitations of the physical body and achieve eternal life or influence. DENZO MOS notes a striking contrast between the wisdom of the witch and the lack of empathy seen in narcissists. While witches cultivate a deep connection with nature and the spirits, often using their abilities to help others, narcissists remain detached, emotionally barren, and self-absorbed. The witch's wisdom is rooted in balance and respect for all beings, while the narcissist's wisdom, if it can be called that, is centered on the ego and the pursuit of power. Throughout history, witches have been both feared and revered. DENZO MOS points out that the figure of the witch often embodies a woman's power in a patriarchal society. While the witch is viewed as a figure of empowerment, the narcissist is often a product of cultural forces that encourage self-promotion and dominance. Both figures, however, are deeply entwined with the human desire for control over one's destiny. Rituals play a significant role in both narcissism and witchcraft, though for different reasons. For the narcissist, rituals are often used to maintain control or reinforce their sense of superiority. They may create elaborate routines or patterns to manipulate others. For the witch, rituals are sacred and intentional acts designed to connect with the divine, nature, and the unseen forces that govern reality. These rituals are grounded in reverence, not manipulation. DENZO MOS highlights that witchcraft can serve as a powerful source of empowerment, particularly for marginalized groups. Historically, witches have often been women who resisted the dominant cultural and religious paradigms. Through witchcraft, they asserted their independence and reclaimed their power. This contrasts sharply with the narcissist who seeks power over others as a means of self-aggrandizement, often disregarding the well-being of those they encounter. In examining the narcissist's self-centeredness, DENZO MOS draws parallels to the concept of ego magic within witchcraft, where the practitioner's sole focus is on their own desires and ambitions. This form of magic, rooted in the ego, seeks only personal gain and often disregards the interconnectedness of all beings. In this sense, narcissism and ego-driven witchcraft share a fundamental flaw: a lack of empathy for others. Narcissistic power, DENZO MOS argues, is inherently destructive. It seeks to impose control, often through manipulation, deceit, and exploitation. This power is not sustainable, as it is built on fragile ground. Over time, those around the narcissist begin to break down under the weight of their demands, and relationships dissolve. Witchcraft, when used destructively can have similar effects with curses or hexes that harm rather than heal. DENZO MOS contends that with great power comes great responsibility. Just as a witch can influence the forces of nature to create change, they must do so with integrity and respect. The narcissist, conversely, operates from a place of disregard for others, seeking only to impose their will. The witch understands the consequences of their actions, while the narcissist remains blinded by their own need for validation and control. So in some cases, DENZO MOS suggests that witchcraft can serve as a tool for healing from narcissistic behavior. By reconnecting with nature, practicing mindfulness, and working with energy, individuals can begin to address the root cause of their narcissistic tendencies. Rituals of self-reflection, meditation, and even therapeutic witchcraft practices may offer a path to self-awareness and healing, allowing them to break free from the cycle of self-destruction. Ultimately, DENZO MOS calls for balance between the self and the world. Narcissism, while a defense mechanism, can lead to isolation and distraction. Witchcraft, in its truest form, is about understanding and aligning oneself with the greatest forces at play. When practiced with compassion, witchcraft can empower individuals, helping them grow, heal, and manifest their desires in harmony with the world around them. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've learned a thing or two. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you've not done so. Thank you.